Hey, everybody. Welcome to
good
Tech
morning.
Shamans. We're going to jump to the dual shot real quick.
Yeah,
So
that's
my
right.
question to you is did you tech this weekend?
I tried. I tried to tech.
How long were you on the boat?
7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
7 days.
7 days.
And I hear, am I correct? A couple weeks you're going away again?
I'm going away the end of this week.
Oh, well.
Sunday.
So you won't be here for next
I
week
won't
either.
be here for one day.
Oh, my God. We may have to film a show before you leave.
Oh, there you go.
So my question, did you tech this weekend heavy or just on your phone tech?
Just on my phone tech. There was really nothing to tech in a non-tech.
Well, I mean, yeah,
world.
but the ship could have come to Adam. We have a problem. Our network's not working correctly.
We're stranded in the middle of the sea.
Can you help us?
Oh my, what will we do?
What will we do?
I was like, man, Elon really needs to get that internet service fixed and get them on these boats.
Because wouldn't that be perfect for the cruise?
They're testing it now.
Okay.
Because the FCC told Elon you're not allowed to do it on moving vehicles type thing. And then they came out with the RV one. And they're like, well, RVs are okay, but can't do cruise ships yet.
Yeah, but with the RV one, you can't be moving.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now they have a service for cruise ships.
Oh, nice.
And if I'm not mistaken, Royal Caribbean's one of the first testers. And I believe Virgin or one of them just ordered their satellite service, but FCC gave special permission to allow it for testing purposes. Yeah, it's
cool.
just ridiculous. All the stuff you got to go through.
Just go get yourself a T-Mobile and stick it up on the top of the
yeah,
ship.
right.
Yeah, fine.
Well, it's not gonna. Yeah, but I'm telling you, the satellite internet on those things when they're moving, the lag
It's horrible.
and the constant disconnects.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then oh god, the pixelated video that you try to upload to make it look nice.
Right.
It's like, hey.
But when I go on a cruise, if I go on a cruise, I'm not a big cruiser guy. I long time ago as a young kid, I say young when I was younger, I worked for Princess. So, and I was a emergency diver / bartender.
He was a princess.
Princess. So I'm not a big cruise guy.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, it's fun. So,
I like it's a true disconnect for me.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is.
Because
I go to eat, sleep, and I'll watch a little bit, maybe throw some craps or something like that. Not a lot. Just really, it's unplugged. I put the phone away. Actually, I don't put the phone away because I use the phone's camera.
Oh yeah.
So the phone lives
we're
with
constantly.
me.
Yeah, we're constantly. I only popped on the internet periodically to just manage, what I have to.
Right.
Locally, even though I couldn't really manage anything.
And that's how we also all talk on our phones. Back and forth.
And you know what? Not for nothing, but the cool thing is a lot of the services today, you don't have to worry about turning on the cell part of your phone. You just leave on the Wi-Fi, and you still have all your services working for the most part.
So I tech this weekend.
A lot.
And it's going to wind up. So we're rewiring the Tampa Bay Rowdies TV station.
Nice.
Basically. Because I showed you the picture of the nightmare.
It was a horrible picture,
So
John.
my buddy brought me in
scary.
last year to take his place, right? He was the EOC, and now this year I'm the EOC. Is that right? No, EIC. And I just kind of got thrust into it. Now, the funny thing is I worked with him a long time ago with the Rowdies. I was the secondary stream guy, right? But I didn't have to mess with the tech side of it.
Right.
And so now last year they brought me in, and we didn't know if we were coming back or not. So I got the phone call going, "Hey, you coming back?" And I'm like, "Okay." And I said, "All right." So, and then I start looking at I'm like going, an engineer's nightmare. As if you'd see the cable goo, oh my God,
Wow.
It is nuts. So I said, "Okay, I'll do it." I said, "But we need to do this and completely tear the rack down,
Right.
and put the rack back up." Oh my God.
Wow.
First day alone was pulling the rack apart. Took us almost 10 hours just to pull it apart.
And that's also labeling, wiring.
No, labeling comes back.
Oh, so this is just a hunt and peck game.
It is, because nothing was labeled. We didn't,
wow.
And there was going to ports that were dead ports.
Oh, geez.
So now we're putting it back together. Now we're labeling, this is input 1, input 2, camera 1, camera 2, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God.
How many of those cables you go, where did this go?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even plugged into anything.
Oh, dude. It was like, so Saturday was pull everything apart, and then Sunday was starting to rebuild it. And rebuilding it takes way longer because now we're having to find stuff that didn't.
Yeah, well, you got to find the end.
Yeah.
You got to find out where it goes.
So, but anyway, and we still probably have another day and a half worth of. We got like 75% of it built back last night, and me and my buddy, we worked like stupid long hours. But it has to get done because March 11th is our first game. Yeah. So I have to be up and running.
And you still need time to test to make sure everything's working.
To test, right? And then on top of that, this next weekend, we can't get down there because of the Grand Prix.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So we're working 2 days this week, and then next week after that, then I go in and
you don't want to go panning to a camera that's not there anymore.
That's not a good thing. Saying. We don't like that.
We're sorry, folks. The camera's missing. We'll talk to you later.
Well, but it's been an interesting weekend for tech.
Yeah.
Last week we weren't here last week, but because it was a holiday. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, and I think you may have put this in there.
Yeah. There's some.
So there is if I get the right thing, iPhone 15.
Yeah, there's a lot of. We're only 6 months out before a release of a new phone. Right. So of course, I'm kind of like the leaks are coming a little late in the game, which is kind of surprising, you know. And we know that if I'm not mistaken, overseas in Europe and stuff, they won the injunction about the Lightning ports. Right. Look, just you need to start using USB-C or you can't sell your devices over here. Right. So Apple would be, really smart to just go ahead and say, okay, it's time to just make the change.
Well, the iPads are already there.
Right. It's not like they don't.
My iPads.
Right. They don't. It's not like they don't have the capability. Right.
The only problem is now I have to go and buy all my new dongles and stuff like that we use.
Well, there's enough adapters out there. They can just make an adapter. They're going to have to, and again, that's a $15 part they're going to sell. That right off the bat. Yep. And they got a lot of you can figure they got things all the way back to iPhone 10 and newer are all going to require adapters. So they're going to make a killing on that. Yeah. Even if they create a few of them for the time being, they're going to make a killing.
But it's going to have the M3 chip.
Yes, that's
huge.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of.
So I'm almost glad I didn't go to the 14.
Well, the M3 that's being built out right now is supposed to go into also be part of the new MacBook Airs, and and then also start moving over to the iMacs and other devices. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of processing power this thing can come with. There was some issues in a new MacBook Pros that came out with the M2s. They were complaining that the MacBook was a little slower than its predecessor on the M1. And that technically ended up having to do with the fact that they used a different SSD that had a slower speed in it, and that's where the problem was lying. So it's gonna be really interesting. I want to definitely see.
So what is dynamic? I didn't get a chance to read this.
Oh, the dynamic island.
What is a dynamic island?
The dynamic island is just it's our camera bar at the top.
Oh, okay.
So that how like when you're on a phone call,
yes,
and it starts giving you the little animation, or if you're playing something to an iPod.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the HomePod.
Yep.
So if you're playing something to it, it shows it little up in the corner, little music playing, and that in your microphone area, camera area, that's what it is. And because it moves and grows and does all that stuff, they're probably going to be coming out with some extra additional features that thing can do. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be interesting.
17.
iOS 17, but the thing is, iPhone 15 Pro. That's going to be crazy because if they do move to like an M series chip in the phones, that'll be the first time that Apple has finally kind of like started using. They're going to be like, okay, this generation it's all going to be M3s, and this generation is going to be, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of the A16s, A15s, like right now, I think we're on A16.
So how is Apple going to get around the whole China thing now? Because remember, the Biden administration came out and said you can't buy anything from over there. Actually, China can't buy any of. See, everybody thinks that.
Well, everything was made in Taiwan for the most part. So,
well, it depends on whether China takes Taiwan.
Well, that's a problem because, they're no longer technically an independent state, even though China said, we're going to leave them alone for 50 years. Obviously, they reneged on that and they're watching it closely. And anytime we any kind of dealings we have over that area, there's always an issue.
Right.
So it's getting to the point where, you can't, even though you want to buy from them, are you buying from them and supporting the Chinese government at the same time?
Okay, so I want to make sure that I want to make this clear about how it works. Everybody, and I'm not sure if everybody knows this. I know I know tech people know it. So, the U.S. and China. The U.S. makes very high end products. The China makes very low end products, right? And then, but when the Chinese are making the high end product, they're buying a lot of the parts and pieces from the United States to make those, make the phones and stuff, right? So if China can't buy anything from the U.S. anymore, because that's where they're going, that's the whole thing that the Biden administration is trying to push. So that means that now everything is going to have to come back to the U.S. to be made. In the including they're even getting down to the chip side. The chips, you can't buy our chips. Blah 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 blah. And so people don't realize that China buys our stuff to make our products,
right? Or they steal our designs, and they reverse engineer everything we have and try to copy it. And you know what? For the most part, all they end up doing is building something and sticking an Android operating system on it and calling it a fake iPhone.
Fake iPhone, right? Which to me, it's I just want to know, because if it has to start making, everything has to be made in the U.S. now, which I'm good with. I'm really good. But is it going to double, triple the cost? Because
don't know.
We're not used to pumping out millions of phones. We're always having we have the China or Taiwan pumping out the cheap.
Well, it's taking
labor,
all this just to finally get U.S. to start manufacturing stuff. If we could figure out the secret recipe, we could be more self-sufficient, which I believe every country should be to a degree, because when you talk about this global economy and globalization, it's not, it's great in theory, but you're always going to have dictators. You're always going to have, different countries that are just not going to cooperate.
Right.
And look what happens. Everything relies on technology. And now we're using technology as a weapon. It's scary.
So, okay. So everybody, if you're going to upgrade quick, because stuff may be going up. I put this in here because I thought this was pretty cool so it's a Bluetooth fob that turns iPhones or Android devices into two-way satellite messengers.
That is cool. As a matter of fact, I read another article in a similar fashion. This is cool to be able to,
and it's called the Motorola Defy, because it's a Bluetooth accessory, which enables emergency satellite texting. So if you didn't upgrade your phone this year, right? And you have one of the older phones, this will work with that older phone, and it gives you emergency texting to satellites. Unlike, because I know you get that when you upgrade your phone and get the new 14, this comes as a feature, right?
Right, and it's only going to come for, I think, for the first year or two. That it's going to be free, and then after that, it's going to be a charged service.
Right. So it's in the Defy satellite link only costs $99. Now there are other ones out there that I think it's Bullets, and it's $5.99. But to me, the actual service you'll need to pay is $4.99 a month. If you travel a lot, or if you're out in the woods a lot or something like that,
this is a really cool device.
It is a very cool device. I'm not sure if Rob has showed it up there yet or not, because I'm not looking. Trying to. Oh, you did? Okay, good. To me, it's a game changer, right?
Yeah. I
mean, $99, and even if you're paying $5 a month, $60 a year, that's not bad.
No.
not bad at all.
Especially if you're somebody that likes nature, but also brings technology with you
exactly
to try to GPS.
Everybody has their phone with them out in the woods,
right?
And
right.
I mean, it's again. I've started taking this instead of taking cameras, right? I don't carry cameras other than, if you're trying to get a long off shot, you need a telephoto lens. And you can buy for the phone now.
It's funny too. A lot of people forget that technology might not work in the woods. It's not until they get into the environment before they realize they're screwed. And an emergency happens. Boom! Look at that. That thing, it looks like it has a key ring. Slap it on your keys. And boom! It sounds really really perfect.
So I have anyway, buy it if you want it. I'm not endorsing it. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't tested it yet?
I may get one because I don't know if
test it.
I think I'm going to wait I think I'm going to wait till the 15 to come get a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you on now?
13.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
I guess there just wasn't enough in the 14 other than the camera. That's really the biggest thing.
Well, the 14 Pro Max did give you the A16. But what kind of irritated me was like the regular generation of the phones was they kept the same processor, which I think that kind of really messed them up. That
kind of bothered me.
I think that had to do with production and supply, just being able to get product. I mean, that was near the end of the vid. So, and things were already backed up and really messed up. So use the rest of your inventory and then we'll talk.
Right. Exactly. So I put this in here because, everybody is talking about going to a 4-day work week. Well, in my industry, we can't do a 4-day work week. I'd love to do a 4-day work week, but we would have to pile so much in 4 days.
Yeah.
It would take me.
And who's going to be there when that one day when crap hits the fan?
Right. So, but there are 13 remote tech companies with 4-day work weeks that are hiring right now. Not that I know any of these. I just put these in because
I know none of them.
Blackthorn IO, Bolt, Buffer, Byte Check. I know who they are. Corporate Inc., Digital, Feather, Just Uno. Okay, Monograph, Signified, Sprockets, the Wanderlust Group, and Uplevel. So the reason I put this in here because I watched a story, a news story come out this weekend about how the new generation are just they feel burnt out. And
they didn't even get to the point to be burnt out to feel burnt out already.
So here's the thing: I think people have lost the
work ethic.
Well, I don't even know if it's worth that. I think what bothers me the most is people are just getting into jobs to get into jobs.
Yes.
Right?
There's no end game.
No. So it's like, I don't want to just go do something to do something so I can get some money.
Right.
Right. I mean, I like money. My new tagline, Area 52 Media Group, we like money. That's gonna be my new tagline.
There's no incentive at the end because like a lot of it, back in the day, you used to have a retirement you're working towards, a pension plan, your medical was covered. You didn't have additional expenses just because you were working. There was incentives from the job to allow you to work, and that's something that happened to me. As I entered the workforce, I started with a company that had a retirement fund. I got vested in it, but just as fast as I got vested, the following year they were taking it away in favor of 401k, and so I'm vested for like the price of aspirin per month. I'll probably get like $5 or $6 a month by the time I go to retire. And I'm like,
right.
Well, I moved on to another company. Same situation happened there. Just before I got vested, boom, they switched. They got rid of their pension. The same situation. So, I think those generations get to the point is why am I, I just want a job and I have nothing. I just to make money to get rid of the money.
So they get into jobs that they really don't want to be in. Right. They're just there to work. And then it's, to me, it's like, man, if you don't like what you're doing, don't get in it. Right. Don't just go get a job to get a job.
Right.
Right. Try to work in something that you truly are passionate about. And if you're good with crunching numbers and you like that, corporate world is where you should be.
And I think a lot of employers this time around are pulling away from, all the requirements for like college requirements and stuff like that. I've noticed that a few of them will open up more to somebody with experience or who's trainable, because it's, if you have a passion for it, you're more apt to enjoy your job, which means you're going to want to come to work on time. You're going to want to perform better, and you're gaining knowledge, and they're teaching, and that's what they want.
I would rather have someone come to me and say, hey, I don't have training, but I'm willing to learn. And the first thing I say is, well, you have to intern for a little bit of time. Let's make sure that we're going to be a good fit. Yep. You're not going to get paid. I'm not saying, 2 years, and then that gives us the ability to go, okay, this person's trainable, and, they're not, well, I know this and I know this and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Cause I hate the ones we've hired in the past where we come in and like, oh yeah, I know, do that. Next thing I know, they're on Google, they're on YouTube trying to figure out the job that I've asked them to do, and they don't know anything. Right. And then when you try to tell them, I'm like, well, I knew that already. Really? Why were you Googling?
Right. Or they want to use all the new age apps and stuff like that to try to facilitate something that would, takes knowledge to learn.
Rob's got years of school and years of experience. I've got years of experience. I've got some schooling, but I went to school 30 something years ago. So it kind of really, someone says, my degrees then do not equate to my degrees or my degrees that I would have now, so. But anyway, get into something you like, man. Don't, but here, I just don't understand the 4-day work week. I don't think you can get enough. I mean, if you're a large company,
a really large,
it makes total sense.
And if you built that into your culture already, that you don't really need to be.
But small businesses can't do the 4-day work week. You just can't. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, so, but anyway, we'll move on. I don't want to beat that dead horse, but so here is a $10,000 NVIDIA chip powering the race for AI. And this thing is a little monster. It is like, holy crap. But you know what?
Where are we plugging this thing in? It looks like a SoCal.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's $10,000 for like a little SoCal. I could make a huge, nice little, Xbox out of that or something.
That's this Xbox ever, But the cooling on it. But I guess this is what's going to be. It's the A100. And it's suited for like Chat GPT, being AI, stable diffusion. It is it was used to render sophisticated 3D graphics. And I guess that's really
what it was originally built for. It was sophisticated 3D graphics and games. But
now this is the stuff that Hollywood uses.
Right.
I mean, these are big boys.
The reason why these GPUs are so good for this process is because they have, like NVIDIA always used the term CUDA cores, which means they had like multiple independent little cores that could all do simultaneous and different calculations all over the place. And that's great for machine learning, especially when this little core has got to take this question and figure out this information. And this one's going to go out and scan the internet for, renders that look like this word. And then, all being able to communicate and put this information together and give you what you're asking for.
Right.
A regular computer processor can't do that.
No. This is the stuff that right now, so the people that are using this are like Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Twitter, and
Elon doesn't even know that that's in there.
Huh?
Elon doesn't even know that's in his data center.
Oh,
he probably turned it off a couple weeks back.
I think he probably knows.
He's like, crap.
But they had they had 32 of them, A100s.
Wow.
A year ago, we had 32 A1. That's the CEO, Ahmad Mystique. So, that is massive. I mean, it's not something that we would ever do, but if you ever want a big boy system.
Now, Stability has over 5,400.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, that's a lot of money.
No, that's.
So if
we have access to
you
all
want to
that.
build a big boy system, there's your big boy system.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk, go talk to Nvidia's chips. They're pretty sexy. You could be like every sentence is worth probably like $32,000.
Yeah, that is a monster. Google uses them, Amazon servers use them.
Yeah, but you got to figure if all these companies are using them, or like say they're pinging one data center full of them.
Right.
Wow, the amount of processing power that these things got to be. Well, the Google says this, and then this guy says that, and they're all sharing the same information and spitting out random stuff across the board. It's yeah.
So I always wonder how much some of the how much your URL can go for, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I found this thing, and this is just a fun thing, right? The 7 most expensive website names. First one is voice.com.
Wow, and look when it was purchased. Voice.com was purchased in 2019.
Yep.
And you know what would be funny is if all these years nobody had voice.com and it only cost $10.99.
Right.
50% off for
Now?
$5.99 for the first year.
Yeah, now it adds up like $100 million.
I mean, God, that's crazy, right?
The cost is $30 million, right? And the current monthly traffic is 90,000. I think it's probably a day.
You know the Chinese company that bought this one? 360.com?
Yep.
I mean, wow.
Camera manufacturer.
That's it.
They only paid $17 million for it. But it was in 2015. But they have 24 million monthly people hitting that bad boy. That's pretty good.
NFTs.com. That somebody, see, purchased in 2022. Who would have thought, you know what? We don't have a website called NFTs. Sometimes people just don't think about anything until after the fact.
Yep.
Like
this next one is sex.com.
And you know what's funny? I can't believe it was purchased in 2010. I mean, you'd figure that probably would have been back in the 80s.
Yeah. Right?
I own
64 million people a month.
John, when we had dial-up.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? God. Probably wouldn't have been, yeah. But it's for sale.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's
nobody wants to
Clover flips its investment. Minimum bid starts at $20 million. Minimum bid.
Wow.
Minimum bid. So next one's fun.com.
That's pretty, understandable, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like a weird name,
Yeah, but they got it for it cost $12 million, bought it out in 2 days. But they don't even have half a million. They don't have a little over 250,000 people a month.
Hotels.com.
Oh my Lord. No thanks. Hotels.com, 11 million, person 2001, 44.5 million people a month. And all they do is help make reservations. That's nuts.
The oldest sale on it was $11 million.
Yep.
That means that at that time they had purchased that.
Yep. They were the only person, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so, here we go. Tesla.com.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if someone went out and, I bet he got that. No, it's 2014. Wow. Okay. So here's the thing. 16.9 million on a monthly traffic versus the funds, which is 293, and the funds cost more. Someone thought they had a great idea. So there you go.
Yeah.
$11 million.
From the software engineer that they bought it from.
I wonder what they paid for it. Now
paid
now
the
it's
$11
ranked
million.
80, now it's like, that's a drop in the bucket.
Well, the company's raked in $81.5 billion in revenue.
That's just crazy. I wonder what my websites are. So I had,
I mean, I was just reading, somebody said it's an interesting article, but what is it in regards to the website that makes it valuable? Is it just valuable in the company's eyes that's purchasing it?
Right.
Because it is part of their name and they just want it to want it? or is there some kind of algorithm that drives the numbers? Because it's difficult to say, is my website or my domain name really worth that much?
Were you when because you've been in this world as long as I have almost, and it's as age wise, you're younger than I am. So were you one of those guys back in the day that bought URLs just to buy URLs?
I bought a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I was too. Mm-hmm. I get them.
And you know what? Some of them I still have just because, and because I did have somebody reach back out to me at one point. And was irritated because he let it go. It jumped into the public domain. I knew about the company prior to and purchased stuff from the company. And when it became public availability, I bought it, and he accused me of stealing it. And I'm like, no, you don't pay your rent. Your house is going to go up for rent again, and somebody's going to go in there, and you can't come home from vacation and say, you're living in my house. It doesn't work that way. And
look, you let it go. That's your fault.
Yep. The guy made an offer. I counter offered. He says, "Okay, never mind. I don't think I'm going to use it. As much as I was hoping for."
I used to have. I bought the URL a long time ago called videoassassins.com. Right? Because I just thought it was play on words. It was really kind of cool.
Right.
Nowadays, man, if you say you're it's like everybody gets triggered. But I had a company reach out to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll sell it to you. Made me an offer. Right? And the guy offered, and I'm like, no, that's a little low. He wanted to pay like $50 for it. I'm like, no, it's worth a little more because I use GoDaddy, and GoDaddy would tell you what it's worth.
Right.
And there's some stuff that I have in there that I put on the market, going, I'll sell it for I'll have GoDaddy do the listing thing, so the broker takes them, and I have this one guy that I work with at GoDaddy, or one team, I guess, and they'll go, hey, you want to sell this? You want to sell this? You want to sell this? And
I have a couple. I have a couple gaming sites, domains that I didn't really do anything like. Georgia Gamers, GA Gamers, FL Gamers. I own CA Gamers, California Gamers. Just to see if hey,
if somebody wants it, right?
Yeah. Eventually, somebody will be like, "Hey, that's a cool domain. I want to buy it."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "I have it for sale." It's just.
So I'm going to jump back to Apple real quick, because now from what I'm seeing online, whole 9 yards, one of the things that I don't.
Yes.
Is we don't talk about as much is the fact that the camera bumps, right?
It's huge. Yes.
They're massive. And you look at so you look at the Samsungs and you look at the Windows and stuff like that, and which everybody's like, oh, their cameras are better. Okay, then maybe. But the one thing I do like about them is they're built into the case, right? You can sit there without a cover on it, and they're flush.
I don't care.
They're almost flush.
It's like the 14, okay? You put the 14 down, and it's like this.
Yeah.
It's sitting up on its edge. It's like,
right.
If I don't want to buy a case, okay, which I would never not. I would.
Yeah, I'd always have a case.
But there's a lot of people out there just walking around without a cases.
I know.
You set that phone down, okay? You're resting it right on the edge of the camera glass, because the camera's glass itself sits higher than the framing around it.
It does.
And you're going to chip that glass.
Yep. Or you're going to scratch it.
You're going to scratch it.
And all your photos are shit.
Yep. And it's not like you can just, go around changing this all day long.
No. That's one of the hardest things to do, is have your lens fixed.
Right.
And it's expensive.
Exactly. So I yes, you're right. That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
See, I've got scratches all over mine.
You take it out of the box, and you're like,
because I use it.
You're like, God, why?
Right.
And I think you have the 13. I have the 14. If you look at the camera size, look at how much taller they are.
So you're running the risk to always,
scratching them, cracking them, and it is. And it would be nice to see. It would be nice to see that the cameras are more integrated. I don't even care if the phone's a little thicker,
right?
Because of that.
Yeah, I'd rather have it flush.
Yeah, I would rather have
as flush as possible.
Exactly. And you can only do so much with a camera. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to get good photos and stuff like that, you're gonna have to have some kind of focal length in there to try to even out that.
Yeah, that's why when I look at all these, like I was watching a Samsung commercial, the Galaxy last night, Samsung Galaxy, right? And this girl was taking pictures and stuff like that, and then they showed her taking a picture of the moon, and but when she did it, it processed it. You could watch it go, out of into blurriness and I'm like, you can't get that good a shot that they're showing that you're getting without having a little thickness to your lens.
Yeah,
There's got to be that depth of field.
Right, exactly.
Be there. It can't be just either that or it's the processing power to do that has got to be immense.
I tried the.
And that's why they run hot, by the way.
Oh yes, of course.
Because they do run hot.
They do.
The Galaxies and the Samsung Galaxies.
Even these, they'll periodically run hot.
When you start recording 4K.
Forget about it. Put it in the sun for just a split second. And another thing, I've tried the cinematic recording.
Yep.
On the iPhone, and because of the head tracking, dude, you just move around a room or anything, and it grabs that face, and that thing is in focus immediately, background blurred.
Right.
Every single face as you're just scanning the room.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, this is great. So simple,
Right.
You imagine somebody over here going like.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine though? So when we film with our cameras, which we do, when we're done, hot as fire.
Right.
I mean, I literally take it out of the case now when I film.
Yo, I could just imagine
because this with that case in there, that heats up even worse. Right. So
yeah, they built it for the aluminum and glass to dissipate that thermal.
Right. And we're putting it in a wrapper that's holding that heat in. Yeah, so that's not good for
we're giving it a nice little insulated blanket
that's not
to
good
live
for
in.
the phone. So the wait list, when I read it, I'm like, who the hell is going to do this? The wait list to pay $14.99 for Facebook is now open.
I don't want to pay $14.99 for.
So now to have Facebook, not only do you have to pay to get to the people that now you're going to pay $14.99 a month. I mean, it's just $11.99 per month on a desktop, $14.99 a month on a mobile app. Meta Verified will offer users a blue badge, extra impersonation protection against fraudulent accounts, and direct access to customer support.
No, see that should have. You know what? That should have been something right off the bat, and that should have been done years ago. So many people having their accounts hacked and duplicated and things like that. That's a security risk on its own, and you shouldn't have to pay additional money just to know that you're safe on Facebook. Nope. Give me a break.
So I mean, so now if you want to get, some people are. If you go and get verified on Twitter, back in the day they just took their time, but now you can pay something like, I don't know, $4.99 or $2.99 or $11.99, whatever the cost is on Twitter. But I am not going to pay for Facebook.
This Twitter feed was pretty interesting. This guy says, introducing Meta Verified, the subscription service that lets you trade in your government ID for a blue badge, false sense of security, and direct access to customer support, because nothing says authenticity like handing over personal information to a social media company.
Right.
It's just, now they're saying, for $14.99 per month, we can now get your complete data of you and a complete profile that we can now resell to our advertisers.
Yep.
And have a complete picture of who you really are. That's all this is.
So if you don't pay the $14.99, do you still get to use the free Facebook?
Probably. You just don't get the
protection,
blue mark,
and the blue mark
customer service. That's probably not going to be there, because all we all know is they laid off a crap load of people.
They did.
So where's this free customer support? It's going to be outsourced in another country, and it's not going to be direct access to Facebook. I don't give a crap. It's not. This is just a money-making scheme, because what's happening is their income per user and ad revenue has
going down
gone
drastically.
down drastically.
You know, I'm never going to pay. I don't pay anybody to have a. No, not happening.
No,
never going to happen.
For any kind of social media, I wouldn't pay anything for social media.
So I put this one in here. Oh, no, let's go backwards here. I'm going to try. AI's hype isn't going to be simply star-studded.
No.
Welcome to Stardust Week. And then it, I guess everybody is starting to use, from to help write scripts, to help write
because
castings.
people have seen, we've been desensitized to so much that we just have expectations. I'll have a customer come in, and every laptop, they'll come in and look at it. And the first thing they do is go to the screen and go to touch it because they automatically assume it's a touch screen because they've been desensitized to that. They are always under the assumption that it just works because it's going to work, you know? And the same thing with AI. They here you have them writing your articles and stuff like that. They just have an expectation that they're going to put whatever they want into it and it's just going to come out because it is. And there is no like wow factor to it or, oh my God, look how far we have come, that's just out the window. Mm-hmm. And the same thing. Look what's happening with the UFO stuff. Mm-hmm. Not for nothing. I'm just saying. I know. Look how desensitized. You know what? Years back in the 50s and 60s, people would freak out if they, where we may have had contact with aliens. The world would be in utter shock. They'd be jumping down in their bomb shelters and hiding. Today, they're like, damn, about time.
Right. I mean, Ashton Kutcher, right? He has his own production company, right? And they are trying to, let me see, an actor, he confirmed plans to raise an artificial intelligence focused venture firm. So he's actually trying to build a company against, or for, the AI the band. He's jumping on the bandwagon. Right. So he's going to do, especially since crypto's been taking a smack to the butt. Sorry, I needed some coffee. So anyway, essentially crypto, he says here, especially since crypto, the hype train, old favorite actor, has sputtered and struggled in recent months because they need something new. Will AI receive the same celebrity-fueled hype as crypto did? And he said it's kind of, anyway. Crypto is just, AI is either it could potentially just screw shit up.
Well, I was just looking at the Magic Eraser article, also the Spotify.
Right.
I was just, that one really caught my eye.
Yes.
An AI DJ sounds pretty darn cool, which I will say that Pandora for years has already kind of heard the melody and what you liked.
Right.
And almost instantaneously, every song after that.
Yep.
And it didn't even have to be by the same artist.
Right.
They knew the tempo. They knew the language of what you wanted to hear, and it all just kind of blended. And you created a station almost instantly. You pick that one song and boom, now you have a station named after the song.
Right.
But this is cool because maybe this is going to take similar rhythms and beats and stuff and blend them together and do fades and stuff, fade ins, fade outs, and make this.
So the problem, it
could be cool.
It could,
if it's smart enough.
But it can't read the room, right? A good DJ will read the room.
The DJ's over there. Did you like this mix? Yes. It's fire. Keep it going. And now all the DJ is going to be doing is just answering questions AI says about 10 seconds before the song ends. Yeah. How's the room playing? Right. Do they seem to like it? Are they uptick? Yes, no, yes, no. Yeah. So that's how DJ is going to work today.
Yeah, because a good DJ will work that room, and as they're working that room, like, okay, they're digging it. Oh, you know what's getting a little sparse? Let's change it up.
You hear Microsoft Sam, come on. Oh, Mr. DJ. Oh, jeez. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's literally nobody's going to be calling for the DJ. Somebody's going to come in with their MacBook. They're going to set it up, right? They're going to sign into their Spotify account, and they're going to let Spotify handle the whole mix.
Right. I don't. To me, it's like I rather have that. See, I'm old school. I like it when they bring.
Yeah.
So on TikTok, right? Which I think we're going to talk about TikTok here in a little bit. I love watching these old school DJs.
Right. Yeah.
That, I mean, they're still, you can get the ones that you can see that all they're doing is playing off a computer, right?
Right.
And then the other one's got the CD, the little, but there's some on there that literally they're spinning vinyl.
Yeah.
And those guys are awesome to watch.
Even those guys that do work off their computers, though, a lot of times they've built those mixes and they've had to sit there and play the mix, build the mix out. Then they have to save it, the whole mix, onto their external drive or wherever they're going to save it. And then they go back and search those mixes as they go, but they have that memorized by then.
Yes, they do.
And you know what? Gosh forbid if they lose that database of their mixes, that their whole world would come to an end.
Screeching halt.
Yeah, because they have to rebuild everything all over again, get those party mixes.
I
right?
remember we had DJ Blue Blood in on a show, and we were talking about the fact that back in the day when they would bring in crates of albums.
Yes.
Vinyl.
And then the CDs.
Right. And they had it all planned out. And, I remember one DJ working in a nightclub that I used to kind of work at. I was a younger kid. And I would sit there and watch this guy, and he would come in and he would have his albums in row, set 1, set 2, set 3, and set 4, right? But he had other backups just in case, right? So they would bring this in, and he would literally work his list, and he had his night planned out.
Could you imagine when somebody came in with a request?
Oh crap! I think I got it. I got it.
Just a second. Let me find out which line it is on the vinyl to get it. He's got to lay it all out.
Right.
Thank God Laserdisc didn't really catch on too much.
Could you imagine that? Oh man.
Oh gosh.
So, you're a VR guy, right? Have you seen the new PlayStation VR 2s?
No. I
think they're pretty. Look they look. Okay, so let me tell you, that looks more comfortable than the one I have now.
Okay.
Way more comfortable.
But the problem is here again, you're tied to, you buy that VR, you're stuck with another $560 or $500 something game system.
Let me see if it sells how much. $550. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're $1,000 into $1,000 into a VR set, and you're limited to the games that you can only buy on the PlayStation system.
That is true. Well, the Meta's the same way.
No, it's not, because the Quest.
Because I thought the Quest has to go through Facebook's Play. No.
As a matter of fact, you can also purchase and play all the games on your Steam VR set. So if you play games on Steam VR or Steam, you can wirelessly transmit the video signal from your gaming setup to your Quest 2 headset.
What?
Yeah. I play. They have the storefront that's just for the Quest, for internal games that play on the Quest. They have another Quest app that goes on the PC for PC games that work through the Quest store that you can play through the gaming computer. Right. Then you can also launch Steam VR through the headset, because Steam made an app that allows you to stream your games that you purchase in the Steam store from your gaming computer right to your headset.
Okay.
So you're not limited.
So if you have your Steam account, are there any games on the PlayStation or the Xbox that are that you can pull through Steam?
If as long as they're cross-platform games.
Cross-platform.
So
like the new Harry Potter?
Yeah. So if you want, if it says it's available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, then yes, that's what
Steam.
You would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you just watch out for that.
But if you look at these, the headset to me is way more. I have the Quest 2, right? And that thing, and it's not comfortable. And for bald-headed guys, it's about comfort with some of these things, right? And the Quest 2 kind of hurts my head, and it's a little bit heavy. But this one This VR2 it looks like it's got a little more back to it, so it's not so cutty, you know.
Yeah,
Those
yeah. I
straps
mean,
cut into your head on the Quest.
it is nice. I had the the original PSVR.
See how it's got the foam?
Yeah, I had the original PSVR.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that there's some aftermarket head straps that work on the Quest.
Oh,
too.
is it?
And I have one that has a battery built into the back of it that it runs a cable and just plugs into the headset. It gives me like 4 or 5 hours of playtime.
Didn't they get hot?
No, it's as a matter of fact, I'm going to pass out before that thing's dying. I mean, and if I was standing up and not sitting in a recliner,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot worse. But I'll be sweating after I'm done. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing. It's stuck in a niche market that I think because the way Meta built out the Quest,
Yeah.
and already bought Oculus, I think they're going to have a hard time. That's going to be a hard sell.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Did it say if that was wireless yet either?
I thought it was. I don't know. I jumped on to the highly anticipated Xbox Game Pass game now playable early because I figured these two would go perfect together. So highly anticipated day one Xbox Game Pass game is now playable. I guess that's just like having a Steam account.
Yeah. Game Pass allows you pretty much a whole lineup of games that if you just want to play, you pay your $14.99 a month. You have your Xbox Live account, and then you also have Game Pass, which allows you to play like a whole lineup of games they'll put out like some new releases right on it. So if you want to play it, you hit download, you download it, and you play it.
So did you go to the fair this year?
No, I did not.
Okay. So at the fair, you know how they have the home show side of it where you go into the
right. Yeah.
So there was a kid in there. I bought this little. It literally looks like a Amazon Fire Stick, right?
Okay.
Thing's got 1,000 games on it, and it's all the old retro games.
Ha.
And it's full screen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not that cut. You know,
Yeah.
it's cut. So and dude, I've been playing that. And it's got it looks like a little Nintendo remote. And it's 2.4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
And so you put it in your you put it in your back of your TV, this little power cord that powers it, and sit there and go, dude, that is so much fun. It's all the cool old retro games.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Donkey Kong's on there, Donkey Kong Jr.'s on there, Galaga's on there. I mean, that's all open source anyway, which you can download. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of cool. Used to, we played on the little bitty screens. Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, man. So Duck Hunt without the gun.
Oh, without the gun?
You got the
that's got to be weird to play like that.
Weird to play, but it's fun. It's fun. Bowling. It's cool. I'll bring it in next week and put it in here and let people see it. I'll put it on the back screen.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not going to be here next week.
I'm sorry, John. I guess
that's right. That gives me a day off and gives Rob a day off.
No, John, you can play video games here while everybody's watching.
I could do that.
Yes, you can open up. You could be like one of those Twitch streamers. God, no. Yeah,
I am not a good Twitch.
Come on, guys! I need $50.
Come on, man!
I gotta buy the new PlayStation. So
we only got 3 minutes left. Goodness gracious!
Wow.
So I'm going to jump on the NVIDIA. So you would think, after PC demand dropped, which I didn't know it dropped, but I guess it did. Dude, they're still making bank.
Yeah.
I mean, billions. I thought you can't get them, and
they're telling
blah blah.
They're telling vendors not to drop the prices on the graphics cards too much, even though there's no demand on them.
Right.
They're squeezing supplies to keep the prices up, which is ridiculous. Number one, and then they're turning around. I guess a lot of their monies come from their AI initiative and those sources. But believe it or not, the PC gaming, as in regular gaming graphics cards, have dropped considerably.
Right,
and they're losing money on that side right now. And you know what? That's their fault because they're the ones that fed into that that crypto mining.
Yep.
Crap. And when crypto dropped, the demand for their graphics cards dropped And now there's like a whole secondary source of graphics cards out there.
Right.
And they're trying to, and they jacked up, artificially inflated prices past the MSRP.
They did.
On purpose, just to try to ride that wave.
Yep.
And then they showed these huge stock gains.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, we made a whole bunch of money, but how do you explain that huge loss the next year? Oh, well, we can't reach those targets no more.
Right. So their projected fourth quarter for 2023 would almost be just in the quarter, $6 billion.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So for the full year, it ranked in 2023, they're projected to make in total $26.92 billion.
So even after
identical to last year.
And they're saying that there's a lower shipment of SoCals, which are the system on chip systems, and those are in reference to like Nintendo Switch sales dropping,
right?
Which is going to be a given because there's supposed to be a new Switch coming out soon. So we'll see that.
So we don't have much time left. I'm going to just TikTok is under investigation by Canadian private authorities.
Canadian.
Because I'm telling you, if you've got one of these, China's got your shit.
Everybody's got your shit already. It doesn't even matter.
I mean, why? And I honestly say, and I know Rob will argue with me probably, is the biggest reason is because the government cannot influence or do what they want to with this platform. It's already been shown that the government influenced Facebook, the government influenced Twitter, and Google, as well as YouTube. It's all been influenced. This is my personal opinion, just my personal opinion, right? So TikTok is one of those platforms. Yep, it's Chinese owned, but it's over here. But it's over here, and we have our own side of it in Americas. But they can't influence it.
Right.
They TikTok.
But it could be influenced the other way.
So that's my personal opinion. That's the only reason. And everybody's buying onto it. Everybody I talk to, they're going to ban TikTok. No, they're not going to. You can't ban it.
No.
You can't ban it. Anyway.
You might as well ban the internet.
So, yeah, right. Yeah. What to say on the internet, everything is true. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks. We appreciate it. Tech Shamans at area52tv.com if there's something you want us to talk about.
Email us.
Actually, I have two subjects, but I'll wait till you get back next. People that have reached in. Hey,
we'll
can
have
you
four
guys talk
subjects after that.
Yeah, right, exactly. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See you.